Lovelies! I'm back today and this is something people have been asking me to do for quite a long time, and that is the goth tag. A lot of the questions are a little bit hard to answer for me just because although I am, you know, obviously very involved in like the goth subculture and stuff. Why can't I ever speak? I'm so sorry. Although I am very involved in goth subculture and stuff, and that is what I would generally use to class myself, I tend not to talk about the finer details of it just because there's so many elitists and like they always have something to say, but obviously some of these questions are gonna be in that sort of area, but I'll see what I can do anyway. So yeah, let's get started. Question number 1 is, how long have I been goth? Okay, I think every question of this is just gonna be hard for me to answer. This one in particular just because I've kind of have been darkly inclined, I think, ever since I was very, very young. Whether that be, you know, my interests in like cartoons and stuff. I actually have a blog post that I did quite recently on all like the creepy cartoons I used to watch as a kid and stuff, like my favourite ones. Like as a kid I was always like obsessed with anything Halloween, anything spooky, ghosts or anything like that. You know, like Scooby-Doo was my favourite, Courage the Cowardly Dog and stuff. And I was always very interested in like dead things, and I still am. And it's not just, you know, like, it's not an obsession with death rather than an obsession with life, because I just find it so interesting, you know, to see how they're made up. And like I love seeing taxidermy in the museum and stuff as a kid, because that was like the one time you'd get to see those animals. Like, you know, you wouldn't get to see like a fox or a deer or a rabbit up close, because if you're out in the wild they'll run away. So I always love seeing them, like, you know, you just be able to actually see them up close. I thought it was amazing. But I suppose whenever people ask like when I sort of started being goth, I always say around 10, because that is when I dyed my hair black for the first time. It's when I shaved my undercut for the first time, and then when I was 11 my eyebrows came off. So I'd say around that age, and plus that's when I started being able to get my own clothes and stuff. You know, before that I was just wearing whatever my parents put me in. So I'd say around 10 is where it really started. How was I introduced to goth? I'm not really sure, to be honest. There are only 2 real people that stand out that I have like vague memories of seeing when I was like teeny tiny, like I was so young that I can barely remember it. And one was a girl at my school, and she was the kind of typical, you know, like what you'd think of as goth, you know, like the long black hair, very pale makeup, I think black lipstick and stuff, and like long flowy skirts. And I just thought it was amazing, and I was like, oh, what is this? And I was kind of in love with it since then. And then the other time I saw it was not so much goth, I suppose it'd be more punk, was my dad's best friend's daughter. And it's so weird because she actually lives like directly across the street from me now. Like if she was looking out her window I could probably wave and say, hopefully they're not looking at me because I'm like pointing and waving at them because my curtains are open. But she like lives over there, and it's so weird because right now she doesn't look that much older than me, but I must have been like 5, and I remember seeing her with like half of her head shaved and the other half in big green Liberty spikes, and I was like, that is so cool. But I don't really know how that age difference works then, unless she just like looks younger than she is, I don't know. But I remember seeing her and think it was that amazing. So I remember those 2 people, and I just kind of remember me and like my friend were like the only little baby goths of the neighbourhood and stuff, and we'd have our little Living Dead dolls and sit in her room with incense lit listening to The Cure and stuff, and you know, that's kind of what we were doing when we were 10. So I don't know, she got some influences from one place, I suppose I got mine from another. We came together and we were just like the little baby goths of the neighbourhood. This is gonna be so long, I talk way too much. Number 3, what subgenre would I put myself in? I could not put myself in one subgenre. You guys know I love to wear like every subgenre ever, as well as things that aren't even goth. Like I'll incorporate other styles that have nothing to do with goth into my own sort of goth style, so I definitely couldn't put like any one thing on me. Goth is just the umbrella term I use generally for my style, but I've smooshed so much other stuff into it. This is one of the ones I really don't want to answer. What do you believe to be the basis of the goth subculture? It's not something I can answer. It's not something anyone can answer. It really varies from person to person. I'd say the sort of main sort of points would be to, even if you don't like love the music and listen to it all the time, at least try to listen to the music and appreciate it and know what goth music is, because, you know, like, yeah, goths can listen to like Nightwish and Cradle of Filth and stuff, but that's not goth music. So you need to learn what goth music actually is and appreciate that that's where goth came from, I think. Then of course you have the fashion element, and then it's mostly a mindset, I think. It's just so many of us have like a similar set of interests. You know, as I said earlier, it's like sort of darkly inclined people finding the beauty where other people may not. Like, you know, I was talking about how other people look at like dead animals and just see the death and think, you know, it's something bad and scary. Whereas a goth person might look at it and see the life and see the beauty in it. So I suppose it's kind of a mixture of the mindset, the music and the fashion and stuff. It's not really a question that can be answered. What do I dislike about being goth? Well, you know, people being rude to you and stuff isn't great. I can deal with it. It's like, you know, people are like, oh, like, I swear that What Not to Say Goth Girls video, obviously with it being so popular, it's got a lot of attention, and some of the comments are so mind-numbingly stupid. Oh. But anyway, I like people like, oh, you can't dress like that and not expect people to do this to you, and I'm like, well, no, I can. I expect people to have common fucking courtesy and have some manners, but alright. But yeah, so like, I can deal with it, although I'd really prefer not to have people be rude and nasty about how I dress. There's that. And then in terms of like within the goth subculture, I can't stand elitists. I can't stand, you're not a real goth and you're a poser and you have to do this to be goth, and if you do that you're not goth and all that. I'm like, oh, go away. No one cares what you think. What do my parents think of it? I think I've touched on this in a couple of videos now, but my mum definitely likes it. I think she always kind of wanted to be a goth when she's younger, but my granny would have killed her, so she kind of lives vicariously through me. Like, I was showing her some stuff, like some clothes I got recently today and stuff, and she was just pouting and moping because she wants to wear them. But yeah, so she really likes it. My, sort of like the rest of my family, like I say, my dad, my uncles, my granny, they don't like it, but they don't, you know, they're not mean to me about it. Like, my very, very religious uncle will sometimes express his concerns that I might be getting it. Like, there was one time, I'm sorry, I know I said I'd try to make this shorter, but there was literally one time when I was staying over in his house and I was sitting upstairs watching a movie, probably something silly like Harry Potter or something, and, you know, like eating some sweets. And he comes up to me and hands me this little comic. It was like a little Jesus-y comic, and he's like, I just wanted you to read this, love, because I know it's close to your world. So I was like, oh, okay. So I picked it up and started reading it, and it was like about a satanic cult that ate people, and I came downstairs and I was like, what is this? So, you know, he'll get concerned about that. My other uncle will affectionately call me freak. My granny will complain about my piercings, but generally they all love me and there's no problem. You know, just because they don't like it doesn't mean they're mean to me about it or anything. Next question is eyebrows or no eyebrows, and I don't really know what that specifically means. If it's in terms of me, I don't have eyebrows, I just draw mine on. If it's in terms of other people, I don't really care what other people do with their eyebrows. I think both can look nice. And if it means do I wear eyebrows or not, these days I mostly do wear eyebrows, but I'll occasionally go without. Next one is what is my favourite band. You guys know I don't have favourites, like, ever. But if I was talking about my favourite band in the genre of like you know, the sort of big well-known goth bands, then it would probably be The Cure. The Cure was always my favourite. Next one is your opinion on Marilyn Manson. I really like Marilyn Manson. I don't care if he isn't goth, or, you know, if his music isn't goth, or if he's associated with posers or baby bats or whatever. I like Marilyn Manson. I like his music, I like his style, I've always liked him. Doesn't matter if he's goth or not, I still like him. And the last question is, what were your baby bat days like? And I just want to say, like, some people like love that word, some people hate it, some people use it for different things. That's not my word, that's just what the question says. My baby bat days, I suppose, were good enough. Like I said, there was me and my friend, and we'd, you know, just sit there in this room, and the room was so much fun. It's like I said, there'd be incense lit, The Cure playing and stuff, and like Marilyn Manson lyrics scrawled all over the bare walls in eyeliner and stuff. It was very goth. But I don't know, it was good fun. Like, I really enjoyed my sort of like younger days before like everything went a bit crap. But yeah, I had fun in my like young gothy days. Okay, so that's the goth tag. Hopefully I didn't like babble through that forever like I tend to do. I'll see, because I did ask for some feedback on Tumblr of like what, and some people said my videos tend to be a bit long, and I know that, and I always try to make them short and they go too long. I'm doing it right now, I'm making it longer. I'll try for you guys to kind of make some shorter ones, but this was the goth tag. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, because that's really important to me. If you want, I will leave the comments for this in the description box below, and you can answer them yourself in the comments if you want to share your stories. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks guys, bye!